It is 8 o'clock p.m. CST on Thursday, October 21st, 2021. And tomorrow at noon CST, the Super Smash Bros. Veteran Cypher that I have been working on and organizing since June is going to be released to the world, and anybody's going to be able to look at it and say whatever they want about it, and I am wordlessly excited and characteristically nervous as fuck. This Cypher has been a huge passion project of mine since not even it started, since I got the idea. I was theory crafting and fan casting and thinking about what I wanted this to look like since long before I was good enough to even consider handling a Cypher. And I'm so proud of the result, but I'm nervous not everybody's gonna like it as much as I am. So before I lose the last synapse that is firing in my brain, keeping me conscious, I am going to record this little Cypher breakdown. Obviously, this is going to come out after the actual Cypher drops, but I'm gonna be talking about not just the thought process behind everything, but also the production process, sort of talking about how I went about organizing everything, how everything came together. It's gonna be a look behind the scenes, sort of. So make sure that you've watched the actual Cypher before you watch this breakdown, or I'm gonna ruin the entire viewing experience for you. I'll link that in the description. You can watch that over on the main channel. And I'm gonna get into it. So this is not the first time I've tried to make a Cypher. I had a different Cypher idea that I'm not going to drop by name because I still want to make it someday, and it's a good idea, and I don't want anybody to steal it from me. And some people, because that Cypher got fairly far into production, but I was such an amateur at the time, I was not able to handle a Cypher. So the people on that Cypher were... Lots of them were very good, don't get me wrong, but they were kind of just whoever I had access to at the time. I was not, paying anybody for this. It was all people who were willing to get me verses for free. So it was just not going to be a good product. And I ended up canceling that before it got too close to being finished, saying, I'm not good enough to do this yet, and I don't want it to be a lackluster end product. I want us to be able to work towards something we know is going to be good. So I put off the idea of doing a Cypher until I felt like I was good enough to handle it. And that day eventually did come, because here we are. I decided to go with a different Cypher idea. This one just felt fitting. This one felt fitting for my first Cypher. The first of what I'm assuming is going to be more than one. But I'm the video games guy. I'm the Nintendo's guy. I'm the guy who raps about games more than he raps about anime and manga and stuff. So this fit. It's a legacy series. It's a love letter to Nintendo. These 12 are so representative of the Smash series that I felt like it worked. So step one, before I worried about asking anybody to rap for me, was getting a beat. And when I worked on my original Cypher, I just used a free beat, and I didn't want to take that angle for this Cypher, mostly because I had a very specific idea for what I was going for. And that was, I wanted a remix of the character select theme from the first Smash Bros. Game, the one that plays when you're choosing which character you're about to play as. Because that theme is, again, very iconic, but also very simple and able to be mixed into something more interesting to listen to and iterated on a little bit. So I felt like it would work for a Cypher beat that was going to be going on for a while. So I poked around a while for a producer, and I think it was Afro Legacy who said, you should check out Stark, spelled with a V. I didn't know how to pronounce his name for a while. And Stark is the guy who produces a lot for Sky Limits. So I went back and listened to Despair, Skylimit's EP, Ghost Dream Despair, which I had only listened to all the way through like once before. And I listened to it specifically with an ear for what is the production like on this, and I really liked what I was listening to. So I reached out to Stark and I said, here's what I want. Remix of the N64 character select theme. Can you do this for me? And he said, yes, I can. Also, what if we made it different for every character? And I was like, are you sure I don't have to pay you extra for that, dog? Because I love dynamic beats. I think that changing the beat to fit the rapper on it at any given time is so cool. One of the best examples of this is Cam Steady's Pokemon Trainers Cypher, where for like the first 2 generations of games, you have like these Game Boy style bleeps and bloops where the sound chip was not very good. If Hoenn comes in, you get the horns. Diamond and Pearl, when the story starts getting more intense, you get these intense like orchestral strings. Gen 5 in New York City has a very like street punk type feel. Gen 7 for the islands, you get like this very tropical percussion for Alola. Gen 8, you've got almost like bagpipes, I want to say, for the region based on the UK. It just fits. It fits the style of the character on it so well, and I wanted something like that. And Stark absolutely went above and beyond and knocked it out of the park. Stark carried this Cypher, is what I should be saying. Because he did the production, and then he did the mixing and mastering. And he did an excellent job every step of the way, and this Cypher would not be what it is without his work. But of course, what good is a beat without some rappers to rap over it? So let's get into our first verse here, which is going to be Politicess as Mr. Mario himself, kicking things off.
I'm the best, nobody on top of kid. Think you is and he must be out of it. Put you on a side B, tryna fight me. Gotta stick with 2 beans like a cheek test positive. Ayy, don't want the fade. Better on my body for the charge, I spray man. Run a whole gang. Think with the jump on me, better fly when the arm get raised. Wait, huh? What they doing? She going down on my pipe, we in a new stage. We high as fuck, hit a brick, see, had a shroom tape. Got a team full of all-stars and we know the move way. Finna have to find a Blu-ray. Say being us 2 days.
Aesthetic on link. I am the type to leave you on a stretch.
There was a version of this Cypher where I was going to play Mario. There was never like a verse written. The idea didn't get that far, but there was a time when I was still considering doing this Cypher where I was going back and forth between playing Pika, who I eventually ended up playing, and starting things off as Mario. And I eventually decided that that's not me. Mario is very big shoes to fill. Like, in a legacy series like this, every character is big shoes to fill. But Mario, even stacked up to the rest of them, is such an icon. How do you come in and say what there is to say as Mario, of all people, and do that justice? And Politicess took a very interesting approach that I really like. I wanted that energy. And Politicess has that energy. This is the bang, this is starting the Cypher off, this is getting everybody into the action. Politicess can yell at you and make it sound really good. And so Politicess is who I had in mind for Mario, because I had everybody in mind before I reached out to them. When I reached out to people, I said, hey, would you like to be on my Smash Cypher, perhaps as this character? Because I did a little bit of fan casting in my head before anything got settled. And I think that worked to my advantage. But as I was saying, Politicess took an interesting angle here. He didn't talk that much about Mario. He talked as sort of an MC, introducing the roster to everybody else. He refers a lot to we. He starts by talking about himself in the first person, and then he starts saying, man, brought the whole gang. He starts saying, got a team full of all-stars. Think you beating us today? He's introducing this cast of characters as like a squad, as like a team that's rolling up behind him, and Mario's just like calling the shots. And I think that's a very cool energy to take at the beginning of a Cypher, not to call attention to Cam Steady twice in a row, but he did a similar thing on his Evolution Cypher, where he started by sort of introducing the group, and I think that was very cool. Stark on the Beat went with, again, sort of these arcadey beeps and boops, because Mario's the classic. He's been around for so long that it just fits him as such an icon of gaming. And then, of course, Politicess had his Mario bars. He said shit like, high as fuck hit a brick, see how the shroom tastes. Going down on my pipe. You get it. It's Mario stuff. But then he also said whatever he wants. He said, put you on the side, B, which is a Smash bar. He said, gotta stick with two beams like your chick tests positive, because he was allowed to say that, and I didn't bother stopping him because it's funny. But what you have here is an MC, again, introducing the group to everybody. So you've got to have somebody strong following up saying, okay, we've just been talked up. Now here's what you're dealing with. Here's me proving that what he just said had some shit behind it. So ChrisCraig coming in as Link, I think really sold that energy for me, especially because he did something very different from what Politicess did.
Static on Link. I am the type to leave you on a stretcher. I'm with the metal. I put around to his body if he wanna step in my temple. Get dismantled. I do it all for the goal, so you take it, you'll find a breath. The last person who tried forcing me, he met death. You don't want smoke with him. Got weapons in the game, know I'm toting them. Little brother wanna play like a titan. I'm Levi, no I'm not finna go for it. Everybody better know I'm the coldest one. Step up on the scene, do not mess with me. You might catch a 3-stock LOC rep with a green top, walking with the gold on my wrist like a G-Shock.
Stick on my head like a Meta Knight.
Link is a silent protagonist. How do you write music as a character who never speaks, never expresses that much emotion? You get ChrisCraig is the answer. He's such a strong silent type. Chris has a very unique style of delivery that I think not everybody can emulate really well. Xiao Do does stuff like this, Rustage sometimes, where he'll say some tough shit, and he'll talk like a badass, but he'll talk about it like it's no big fucking deal. He's not yelling at you like Politicess is when he's talking about how tough he is. He's casual. He's not breaking a sweat as he's showing you what he's capable of, and I think that's super fitting for a strong silent type like Link, the silent protagonist. Stark comes in with this ocarina-ass beat for Link for the chiller, calmer delivery. It immediately works and then kicks up during those second 8 bars. And then following Link up, for a while, specifically I feel like they did this during the Brawl era. For a while, Smash kind of had its big 4 for per se. When I remember specifically, I'll see if I can find a clip of it, the Brawl reveal trailer showed the melee models of Mario, Link, Kirby, Pikachu transitioning into their new updated Brawl models in the new art style before introducing the newcomers. And it was these 4 that were sort of the poster children for Smash Bros. For a while, specifically during the Brawl era. That was before now, when Nintendo considers their big 4 to be Mario, Zelda, Splatoon, and Animal Crossing, which is a very different era. But I wanted those 4 to come first. And Kirby is an interesting cast. I think I'll let you see what I did with this first.
LOC rep with a green top, walking with the gold on my wrist like a G-Shock.
Stick on my head like a Meta Knight. They be sleeping on me like the Meta Might. Spit up the bars when I inhale. Yo, I be so cold like I'm inhale. See you inhale. When I huff and I puff, you this little piggy be the wolf. And you know I got the beam like I took in the waddle doing in the finger go. Hold up, you're checking me out, we got a lot in common. She be so pink and her chest be a large one. Leading the warriors like Kirby, I'm Kirby. When I get a buff, who be stopping me? Nobody popping me. Never running out of air like I'm shady. I be a convertible, call me the baby. And people be saying I stuck, but it's how I be getting the ladies, yeah.
Nagi back up
recover fast.
If you'll allow me to pat myself on the back a bit, this is just good casting. Jix fits Kirby so well, I think, because Kirby as this cute, innocent, fun character, obviously it's fun to take the dichotomy of that and then say some tough shit, make some sexual horny bars, which Jix does plenty of, a gun bar even, shit like that. It's so fun to just put those two opposites next to each other. And Jix not only has the voice where he can portray a cute character like this, but he has the writing style where he can say some tough shit at the same time. This is just good casting. Jix also came out with some bars that I would have never written in a million years if you put a Kirby verse in front of me. He said, I be a convertible, call me da baby. You can tell that we have been working on this cipher for a while because that meme's not relevant anymore. But Kirby literally converts into his different copy abilities. He said, I'm leading the warriors like Kirby. I had to look that one up. Kerr is the coach of the basketball team, the Golden State Warriors. I don't know if Jix knew that, or if he just looked up, I wonder if there's a person named Kerr I could reference, but it literally works, because Kirby, if you know shit about lore, which Kirby has a lot of actually, there's he's like the prince of the Star Children, of Popstar, so he literally leads warriors into battle as the Star Prince. How did you make that work? It's just really good. It's just really good. Hi, I'm editing this in a little bit later because I forgot to talk about it earlier, but Stark, during Jix's verse, put in King Dedede's theme, just the melody of King Dedede's theme from Kirby, into the beat. That's so cool. That's so cool. And it's not that subtle, right? You can hear it if you're listening to the beat, but it's really cool. I like it. He changes up the beat so much throughout this. You'll see. It keeps going. And then me. And then I come in. Yeah. I'm just gonna let this verse speak for itself for a second.
Call me the baby, and people be saying I stuck, but it's how I be getting the ladies, yeah.
Knock you back, I'll recover fast. I ain't never had to wonder that. Gonna leave your people understaffed when your red cheeks get thunderclapped. I ain't one to brag, but I'm top tier. If an ops here, then they losing. I've been known to throw around fear. Hear the crowd cheer when they choose me. Speed up on the beat, I'm on a quick attack. You can try to land a hit, but I must sleep right fast. And if you just think you get it to the crisp and Nash, you get serious and turn around and preach that's cap. Everything you here to play, but all the people know. When I get a blast enough, you should the ring full blow. And if you should wanna tell me that it don't strike twice, then I'll end this fight in a single blow.
Assaulting back since 81 and
I feel like Pikachu fits me. Of all the characters in this cipher, I feel like Pikachu fits me pretty well. Because he's unassuming, he's not threatening, he's just a cute little guy. And I'm obviously nobody special. So I feel like that works for me, but also as the person organizing this cipher, I still get to play one of Nintendo's big four at the time. And he's an important character to me because Pokemon is my thing. Pokemon is like the most important series to me of any video game, anime, anything. It inspired me so much to create as a kid. Pokemon was the thing that made me realize how fun it was to make shit, be that art or music or whatever. That was what I started doing, was with Pokemon content. Pikachu has to rap fast. At some point in this verse, I had to do a fast part, right? He's the electric type. He was the fastest character in Smash 64, except for maybe Fox. He had to be the fast guy. But I didn't want to kick it off fast. I wanted to start slow for 4 bars, ramp up the energy for 4 bars, and then for the final 8, just keep talking. And I was able to do a lot of interesting stuff with the rhyme schemes, just get a bunch of inners in there, some multis. It was very fun. But as for bars, there are a few noteworthy ones. Knock me back, I'll recover fast. Of course, references Pikachu just having an incredible recovery in even current Smash. He says, gonna leave your red cheeks thunderclapped. This is obviously a reference to, if your cheeks get clapped, they will turn red, as in sore butt cheeks, but Pikachu has red marks on his cheeks, so there's a double entendre there. And then Thunderclap is a thing people say. He's the electric type. It works. I ain't one to brag, but I'm top tier. Pikachu is considered the best character in competitive Smash Ultimate right now. Sora just got released like 2 days ago, so that might have changed, but he's still top 10 if nothing else. Pikachu's top tier. Pikachu busted, as they say. I say hear the crowd cheer when they choose me, of course a reference to Pikachu, I choose you. Here's a fun one. If you don't think you're getting turned to Crisp and Ash, I get serious and turn around like bitch, that's Cap. Is of course a reference to Ash Ketchum, Pikachu's trainer in the anime, who, when he gets serious in battle, he takes his cap and turns it around. He gets serious and turns around like that's Cap. So I just like that I found a way to incorporate all of those elements into a different meaning. When I get to blasting off, you see the twinkle glow is, of course, a reference to the twinkle in the sky when Team Rocket blasts off. Blacks showed that off in the video. And then, if you still want to tell me that I don't strike twice, I'll end this fight in a single blow. Lightning never strikes twice. That's the old idiom. But Pikachu saying, fine, I don't strike twice. I'll one-shot you, dude. That's my answer. I'm bad at ad-libs. And I was even worse at ad-libs when I was first recording this verse, which was a little bit ago. So I didn't know what to do for ad-libs in this verse. It was a lot of just the stereotypical, yeah, hey, okay, like energetic, peppy hip-hop ad-libs. But I didn't want to carry that for 16 bars. So as soon as I started going fast, I just had this idea as I was literally recording ad-libs. I envisioned the move Quick Attack in my head, how it appears in Smash, and the 2 zips that come out. And I just decided to mimic that electric sound with the zzz, 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 and make that be the ad-libs for 8 bars straight. And because I'm talking so much, it's not like I have room to say much else. So having just a blank noise in the back there fits that better than me trying to shout anything over myself. But it also fits, and I also panned the ad-libs, and of course Star kept it this way, left, right, left, left, right. Each time there was a new zip of noise that I was doing. But that was all with my mouth. Afro, when he was watching this, said, I don't know if that's edited in or if that's an ad-lib. That was all just me, and then Stark made it sound cool. So you got Jixplosion into me, into Carter Sauce. I had the order of the characters picked out before I had casting finalized, but I think it's really cool that me, Jix, and Carter all go back to back to back, because those two are my homies, right? Like, everybody on this list is cool as fuck, don't get me wrong, but these two I fuck with. These two are the homies, so it was cool to have the 3 of us get to go right next to each other. So let's see what Carter has to say.
Assaulting back since 81 and I got ops looking down the barrel. I'm rolling, it's all games and fun. First fireballs, I'm bringing peril. Don't live by the rules here, but that you may already know. Shed crocodile tears, but I'll leave a king with a KO. Ay. Yo, tie it together with class. Name is Donkey, but you looking like that. Ain't got an island, but skills I will smash. Don't fuck with the family, furious and fast. Soup's on and the sales are great. Can't get the jump, man, you a fool. Try to get a read on DK, then I guarantee you all get in school.
Carter is a fucking goofball. And I knew this when I gave him Donkey Kong, which is a very silly character. I say I gave him Donkey Kong. He accepted Donkey Kong. If he said I don't want Donkey Kong, I wouldn't have forced him to do Donkey Kong or nothing. But it fits. It fits. I'm good at casting. This is me patting myself on the back. I feel like I did a good job casting this Cypher. It works. DK is silly. He's a big, cartoonish, over-the-top goofball. So is Carter in a lot of ways. So he got to play into that aspect of himself really well with a lot of these rhymes. Not rhymes, bars. He starts by talking about the classics. I've been assaulting back since 81, and I got ops looking down the barrel, a reference to Donkey Kong Classic where he throws barrels. That's fun, double meaning. Don't live by the rules here is a King K rule flip. Shed crocodile tears, leave a king with a KO. And then he starts saying shit like, I tie it together with class, which is just a pun. Name is Donkey, but you looking like ass. You get it. I have something to say about literally every bar in these last eight bars. Ain't got an island, but skulls I will smash is a reference to Kong Skull Island, the movie. Don't fuck with the fam, we furious and fast. Again, a little bit of an outdated meme based on when we were making this cipher, but that's the way you choose to do a Kong family bar, dude? That's so... It's just not a place my mind ever would have went, and I love Carter for that. Soup's on, and the sales are great. This is such a pull. Donkey Kong had an animated TV show for a while that was bad. And the voice actor for Donkey Kong was a comedian called Soupy Sales. Carter had to explain this one to me. I did not know where he was fucking going with this. But it's just so in character for Carter. And then try to get a read on DK, guarantee you're getting schooled. Who wants to guess what that's a reference to? Who wants to just put out their 2 cents? Because you're wrong, it's DK, the publishing company that makes textbooks for, like, elementary school children. And if I put one on the screen, you'll probably recognize the cover, at least if you're, like, American. I don't know how worldwide these are. That's just such a pull. That's just, how does your brain go there, Carter? I love you. I love you. And then DK, this big, imposing, powerful character. Stark represents that audibly in the beat with these horns that come in and just capture the energy really, really well. And I like that a lot, the way he chose to portray that. Okay, so I knew I wanted to have one verse on this cipher that was sung. I know a lot of people don't always fuck with singing verses on rap ciphers, but I feel like if the singer's good and can adapt to a rap beat in an interesting way, then the verse is gonna sound good. Obviously, too much of it's gonna be oversaturated, or a bad singing verse is just not fun to listen to. But if you do it right, it's gonna be good. And Night of Breath is really fucking good at singing, so she pulled it off excellently. Let's listen to Samus real quick.
Then I guarantee you all getting schooled.
Bounty hunter ready to stun her and gun her. Anyone who gets in my way, they should run in her. Charge up to full power, smash rosters and tower. On top above the coward to face deadly encounters. Beyond time and space, maybe you should give me space. Step back, try to run, or you'll get into the place. You're losing this race.
Yeah, I'm with my blast turning straight for you.
I just thought a singing verse would be cool, man. And Mel proved me right. With those fucking angelic vocals. Goddamn, Mel is up next. I'm putting that down. I'm not the first person to say that, don't get me wrong. People fucking know that Mel's up next. But people are gonna know Mel's name soon enough as Night of Breath. Because she's fucking good. Those harmonies, it just hits in such a way that rap vocals necessarily can't. On a cipher like this, it changes up, because in a cipher, this is me defending singing verses on ciphers right now is what this is. You've got, on this cipher, 12 fucking verses in a row. They're not taking that long individually, but it's gonna take a long time. Having a sung verse smack in the middle like this works to change up what you're listening to in such a dynamic way. Because I know 12 is an even number, but Mel is number 456 on this cipher. So it's switching up right near the middle. It's doing a good job. And then Stark, we're Spacey, we're Metroid, we're Samus. That synth-ass beat and those doo-doo-doo-doo-doo that he's got in the background, it's very good. It's very good, and it just fits Mel's singing vocals very well. I mentioned earlier that I decided the order of this cipher based mostly on the character's order rather than the rapper's order. There was a time when I wanted them to just go in order 1 to 12, because Smash Ultimate made this big deal of the order in which every character joined the series, and putting a number 1 through, 89 is now, Sora, of each character gets their own number. And there was a time where I wanted it to be Mario, then DK, then Link, then Samus, in order. But then that's weird. That's weird for a few reasons. 1, Samus and DK are both Mario characters going right next to each other. 2, you don't have the big 4 going up first, which I thought was almost necessary. Jigglypuff would have been ending the Cypher, which is just a weird pick. So I chose to switch that around a bit. And Fox and Samus weren't always next to each other, but once I got these two verses back, I knew they had to be. We've got the two Spaceys, Star Fox and Metroid, right next to each other, but Sky, what he did on this second half of this verse just complemented what came before it really well. I'll let you listen for yourself.
You're losing this race.
Yeah, hey, yeah, I'm with my blast straight for your head. Don't need to stop, play some Zelda instead. Bounty for hire, my kicks are metallic, my home's in the sky, ain't losing my balance. I'm an animal in this game. If you see my face, you're tasting this flame. Every other character is so lame, I be slide like a fox, say howl in my name. Landmaster gonna rock your shit. R-wing cause I'm fly like this. Dodge hits and I never miss. Shoot 'em up, leaving you in bits. All you bitches are zeros, you be facing off with a hero. If you talk shit, I get tricky.
Yeah.
If you need some fixing, call in Slippy.
It's over easy if I get the lob and eggs.
So not only do you have the two sci-fi beats right next to each other, so Start can transition really cleanly in from these slower, longer synths into these fast-paced beeps and boops. But you've got Mel's harmonies next to this melodic backing vocal that Sky did for 8 bars straight as Fox that just back up the way he was delivering that so well. I just felt like these two had to be right next to each other. Sky has a lot of name drops here. He says, "My kicks are metallic," a reference to Star Fox. Team Star Fox amputated their legs because pilots do that sometimes to, like, avoid all the blood rushing to your leg and then you lose circulation in your brain. That's apparently a real thing. He name drops the Landmaster and the R-Wings. He says, he uses the Zero Hero rhyme, which I usually am not a fan of because I feel like that's really overused. But if you've got a good reason to be saying those words, then that's fine. And Sky here was referencing Star Fox Zero, the game, so it's okay. And then he references Tricky from Star Fox Adventures and Slippy Toad from the whole series as a whole. That's not everything he said, but that's some of the major name drops he uses. I just like how he worked in those words into his verses, so they're there if you're looking for them. But if you don't know anything about Star Fox, it just kind of looks like he's talking. And I think that's cool. No preface for this next verse. I'm just going to let you hear it.
Yeah.
If you need some fixing, call in Slippy.
It's over easy if I get the lob and eggs. No one can beat me when I get the stomping heads. They wanna be me, kinda obvious. Listen, you can't see me, get your optics fixed. All green from an island, smoking on that tropic shit. Yeah, I mean it's kinda logical. The way I drop my foes, you can say it's chronological. On the edge, I stop, drop, and roll. Head to head, you don't want this bro left for dead. You should watch your tone.
Yoshi was the hardest cast for this Cypher. Who the fuck plays a good Yoshi? I hate Yoshi. I hate Yoshi because of Smash Bros. Because he's super fucking annoying to fight in Ultimate, and he just presses one button and benefits off of it. So I think Yoshi's annoying. Smash has ruined my perception of Yoshi. But, I knew there was somebody out there who could write a good Yoshi verse. I just wanted to know, I needed to figure out the angle to approach this from. And Yoshi has a similar vibe to Kirby in that they're these cute, wholesome, unassuming characters. So it's what I talked about before, saying tough shit as these cute characters is a fun dichotomy. But we just did that. Jix just had this swagged out, conky flow as Kirby, so I can't follow that up and do the exact same thing with Yoshi, so what's the answer? The answer is to combine a little bit of what Jix did and a little bit of what ChrisCraig did. So Yoshi's gonna be saying this tough shit, but he's not worried about it. He's not stressed. Yoshi's fucking... This is his day-to-day, man. He's just taking out the trash. And Nicky fucking... I'll be honest, I also just wanted a Nicky verse. I wanted to get Nicky Trakks on something. And I trusted him with this role. And I knew he could, take what I was going for, and he knocked it out of the fucking park. The slower, confident delivery, giving his bars space to breathe, was complemented really well by what Stark did with putting the Yoshi's story melody into the beat. It's slower, it's chill, so Yoshi's just fucking, he's kind of talking. He's swagged out, but in a chill way. It's really cool. I'm saying a lot of the same words. Do you guys get what I'm trying to describe? It's cool. Nicky's cool. That's what I'm trying to say, is Nicky's cool. He's got his bars. He says it's over easy. He says stop, drop, and roll. He says, he makes a Yoshi's Island bar, which I thought was really nice. But it's mostly just talking tough shit. And that's what I was going for when I casted this verse. And then we have the 4 unlockable characters. I wanted these 4 to have their own section of the song. And I talked to Stark about the best way to do this. The challenger approaching alarm that separates these verses, I think, is just a good way to get the listener to say, what the fuck's going up next? What the fuck am I... They're making a big deal out of this. Clearly it's something important. What is about to be put in front of me? Because I always wanted the 4 unlockable characters in this game to be the final 4 on the beat. But who else can you start that with than the unlockable character that everybody remembers, fucking Luigi? And again, I'm good at casting. If there's one takeaway from this Cypher, it's that I know how to cast roles in a Cypher. Just fucking listen to this shit. It speaks for itself.
Yoshi.
Who put the L on my forehead? They got a warp, better sober up. I'll leave a brother looking more red. Put him in a bag like a poltergeist. If we're talking Luigi, you're not gonna see me. I'm rocking the 3 sock arm to the teeth of the mop and a shot that prop on a Ouija. Too elegant for the scene, and I just don't stop when the fist go pop and the missile drop with the green expansion. If a booze in the house getting hoovered off, guess it must be my mansion.
They see me rolling, but you know that.
Freeced plays such a good Luigi because he's silly. He's self-deprecate-y. He's not taking himself seriously, but he's able to go so stylish with it still. It just fits Luigi very well. He's silly, he's unpredictable, which is what Freeced did with his bars here. When I was talking to Stark about the beat, and he showed me what he had for the first few verses, and how he, like, incorporated King Dedede's theme and shit, I was like, what if Luigi's Mansion theme for Luigi's verse? And he was like, I fucking got you, bro. Because I love Luigi's Mansion. And I was talking to Freeced about it later after he finished this verse, and he said that inspired his angle on this verse with all the Luigi's Mansion bars, which is a good thing, damn it, because Luigi's Mansion is a good game, and it doesn't get talked enough about. More people should play Luigi's Mansion and appreciate Luigi's Mansion. I really like them. Luigi's Mansion made Luigi a character, okay? Before Luigi's Mansion, he was just Green Mario. That's all you had. That's all you had. But then Luigi's Mansion comes along and he gives them the cowardly, the silly, the self-deprecate-y. This is where all of Luigi's character came from. The little bit of character we got before that was in Paper Mario, and that was just from reading his diary, where he talked about the events that would come in Luigi's Mansion, because those games were being worked on at the same time. It was all Luigi's Mansion. It always has been. Anyway, back to Fweezy Louise over here. This is my favorite verse. This is probably my favorite verse on this Cypher, because, God, I love Freeced so much. He has a tough intro. He talks slow, and the beat is chilling out for these first 4 bars. He says they better sober up. I'll put him in a bag like a poltergust. And then he goes into this triplet flow. It's really fucking good. He does these triplets in the middle, and then a tough end bar. If you're boozed in the house getting hoovered off, I guess it must be my mansion. The way he worked those 3 elements together into a different meaning is really good. It's like what I like about the serious and turn around like bitch that's cat bar I was talking about earlier. It's a bunch of different elements, and you're taking all these words and turning them into a different thing, but it all still works. Armed to the teeth with a mop and a shock back, propped on a Ouija, too elegant for the scene. Freeced, if this is you referencing what I think it is, then this is a pull I didn't expect from you. Because elegant is the name of the best competitive Smash player who plays as Luigi. So when Freeced gave me his bars, the word elegant was capitalized, and Freeced, as an English major famously, wouldn't just do that for no reason. So I have to assume that's a bar about Elegant the Smash player, because I don't know what else it would be, but I haven't talked to Freeced about this yet. So Freeced, if you know stuff about competitive Smash and we've never talked about it before, fucking hit my line, dog. We got some conversations to have. Straight into the next verse. Check this out.
The house getting hoovered off. Guess it must be my mansion.
They see me rolling, but you know that ain't nobody hating. Not one for gloating, but my ego may just be inflated. I get to floating, yeah, I skip and hop in my 6 jumps. Dip and dodge when I mix jumps. If you want my prediction, you'll get kicked, son. Act tough, but like hypnosis, they sleep on me. These goons get slapped up, and by the time they notice, I'm beyond reach. These blows I let fly are too much for you, so may I suggest? It's past your bedtime, so how about you get this a rest?
So when I was theory crafting this cipher, when it was still in its conceptual phases, GG was always Jiggz. There was never a point in which I was thinking about this cipher and Jiggz was played by anybody but GG. Same with Jix and Kirby, it just lined up so well. Same with Freeced and Luigi. GG was always Jiggz. GG is also not a writer, which I didn't know, and I wouldn't have guessed based on how well she adapts and delivers to the shit I have heard her on. Her verse on the Ladies of Anime Cypher comes to mind. It's one of my favorites in that cipher, which is a cipher full of solid verses for the most part. She does a great job delivering that. And when I hit her up, she was like, yeah, I don't write my own verses. And I had no idea. So I ended up writing both Pokemon verses on this cipher out of pure coincidence. But GG totally delivered in the delivery aspect. She talked her shit. She came through with exactly the energy I was hoping for on Jiggz' verse. And if you're watching this on the 22nd, the day the cipher and this video come out, it's also her birthday right now. Ain't that crazy? So go in the comments and wish GarbageGothic a happy birthday, because she deserves it. Of course, since I wrote this verse, I get to break down some more of the bars. I start by referencing Ridin' by Chameleonaire, because they see me rollin'. Rollout is what she does in Smash. Jiggz is known for 2 things. Rolling and sleeping and putting other people to sleep, which I guess is 3 things, but 2 of them are sleep-related. Those are the 3 things she does in Smash and in, like, the Pokemon anime, which is where her Smash incarnation took a lot of its inspiration from. So that's what I got to talk about. She also has 6 jumps, like Kirby, whereas most characters have 1 jump on the ground and then 1 double jump. Kirby and Jigglypuff, with the abilities to literally inflate themselves, have 6 jumps, 1 on the ground and then 5 midair. So I said my ego may just be inflated, though I'm not one for gloating, because I skip and hop with my 6 jumps. And then I took a bit of a trip rhyming that. Skip and hop, 6 jumps, dip and dodge, mixed jumps. If you want prediction, you'll get kicked, son. I just thought that was fun. She's literally the balloon Pokemon. She inflates. That's what she does. And then sleep bars, like hypnosis, they sleep on me. Sleep on me is a thing people say. But Hypnosis is another move in Pokemon that puts you to sleep, and it rhymes with, by the time they notice I'm beyond reach, sleep on me, beyond reach. I thought that was fun. May I suggest it's past your bedtime, so how about you give this a rest? Rest is, of course, the move that Jigglypuff is most known for in Smash. If you miss, it just puts you to sleep for like 10 seconds. If you hit, it's a KO if they're at like 40 or higher. So I knew I had to say rest at some point. Give this a rest was a bar I wanted to say at some point from the beginning of writing this verse. But I chose to put it at the end because of what Mac said on his verse. So I'll let you check that out first.
These blows I light fly are too much for you, so may I suggest it's past your bedtime, so how about you give this a
Picking
rest?
the best, number one player that you can select. I say the planet, so pay your respects. Calling me Ness, the way I finesse. Making them jump like I'm pressing on next. Tell me who's next. I'm taking anybody that you got. Ready to fight if you come to my block. I keep a back just to deal with the ops. Even Pikachu's getting shocked. I don't really play no games, just watch. I got the hammer, ain't talking the clock. You know my name and it's up at the top. Yeah, always ready for the next battle. I knocked out Sonic and Shadow. Calm waters, they been shallow. I'm first place, I make heads rattle.
So Mac gave me his verse before I finished writing for Jiggz. And he started with this scheme. Here come the best, number one player that you can select. I've saved the planet, so pay your respects. With this rhyme scheme on the name Ness. And I said, I'm gonna say give this a rest anyway. I can just lead this rhyme scheme from one verse into another. And I think it's really satisfying how that came out. When I reached out to Mac, again, I had Ness in mind, and I said, would you be willing to take a role on this Cypher as Ness? And he said, I'd be willing to take a role in this Cypher. I don't know that much about Ness or Earthbound, so I don't know if I can handle a Ness verse that well. And I said, well, I kind of had you in mind as Ness, but I can talk to some other people, try to mix things around, see if there's any other open spaces that you could fill if you'd prefer somebody else. And he heard me say that. Mac heard me say that, and he said, you know what? If you had me in mind for Ness, and you thought I would make a good Ness verse, then fuck it. I'm gonna go make a good Ness verse, and I'm gonna prove you right. And goddamn, did Mac write a good Ness verse. Because this is the reason I had Mac in mind. Ness doesn't throw hands. When Ness fights you, he's floating, and he's swaying, and he's getting in your head, and that just fits Mac's delivery style so well, because Mac's versatile, yes. If you've heard Cut It, his Zorro song, I fucking love that song. That's not what he does on that song, but what he's known for is that smooth, stylish, flowy, floating type delivery, and that embodies Ness's, as a literal psychic fighter, his fighting style so well that I thought Mac fits Ness so well. And then we've got one character left. Nobody else could close the Cypher. It's gotta be Cap. It's gotta be the people's champion. It's gotta be Cap.
Calm waters, they been shallow. I'm first place, I make heads rattle.
After serum, signing in this for the bounty. Already got enough paper, I'm the greatest, you could crown me. There ain't no limit, so go ahead and set a bounty. Cause I'm kicking through the BS, bird of prey, you couldn't crown me. So what's the run time? Break it like it's lunchtime. Boosting my ability, I'm better when it's crunch time. Don't get me heated, all that's needed is that one time. Falcon, yeah, I'm the greatest with the punchline.
It's the final verse. There's one character left. We hear the beat start playing this rendition of the Mute City theme. Diggz steps onto the beat, and he says, F the zeros, I'm not in this for the bounty. That's such a good fucking way to kick off the final verse of this Cypher as Cap. Because Diggz was always Cap. He's a Falcon main. He's got the bars to close out this Cypher. He's got the punch. He's got the delivery. Diggz had to be Captain Falcon in my mind. Nobody else could play Captain Falcon on this Cypher. And goddamn did he finish with a bang. Those ad-libs fucking hit. We got his we got his blow. Okay. I love a lot of the fucking ad-libs really fit, because Diggz gave, similar to Nicky, gave his bars time to breathe on this verse. It wasn't rapid fire shit like my versus Pikachu. He was saying tough shit and then letting you think about it for a second before he moved on, and I really appreciate that. And then, of course, Falcon, greatest with the punchlines. We close out with a Falcon punch bar. There's no other way to do it. And then Stark, of course, gives us this little run back of all of the melodies he's used throughout the Cypher. We get Mario's arcadey themes, Link's Ocarina. We get King Dedede's theme. We get the Jigglypuff vocals in the back to represent Pokemon. We've got into these spacey themes for both Samus and Fox. We've got the Yoshi's Island melody, Luigi's Mansion melody, into Mute City. It's the perfect close to a Cypher meant to represent a legacy series like Smash, with just this run back of every melody used in the overarching beat. I'm so happy with the way this came out, and I hope you guys are half as happy with this Cypher as I am, because I couldn't be prouder of this final product. And that's what I've got to say. Thank you for sitting around to me talking about my nerdy passion project that I've been working on for like 30 minutes, an hour. I don't know how long this is going to be when I edit it down. Fucking long. But I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the Cypher. And I hope you guys are willing to stick around with me for what I do in the future, because this is far from the end of it. So subscribe to the main channel, listen to my stuff, let me know what you want to hear from me, because I want to make stuff that you guys want to hear, and I will see you with more music in the future. That's a promise.